Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is set for one fall. It is for the PWX Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, the challenger to my right. He weighed in tonight at 206 pounds, and he comes to us from Greensboro, North Carolina, by way of Tortuga, Haiti. He is the challenger, the Black Cloud Joe Black. And his opponent across the ring, he weighed in tonight at 202 pounds and comes to us by way of Waco, Texas. He is the PWX Heavyweight
Undisputed! Damn, guys. You announce it right. This is my show. You announce it right.
I stand corrected. He is the reigning and defending PWX World Heavyweight Champion, the Southern Savior, John Skyler.
Great tension in this ring as the stakes have never been higher for Joe Black. He faces the Southern Savior, John Skyler, for the PWX World Heavyweight Championship. That's the bell. We are underway. We're seeing Skyler for the first time in several months, calling that belt the World Heavyweight title since he did defend that title while he was overseas.
Absolutely, took an extended tour of the Far East, spent time in China, Hong Kong, and now comes back with the legitimacy of a World Heavyweight Championship. And man, the Skyler fans and detractors have never been louder.
It is, we've been talking about 50-50 splits. This is the most definitive 50-50 split. Either you love this man or you simply can't stand the sight of him. And Joe Black is looking to upend John Skyler after that grueling 5-match series with Chip Day. Obviously, he won it last month in that brutal last man standing match in order to just get that shot at John Skyler, who really has the edge. One has been beaten senseless for the last 5 months. One was touring the Far East, as you put it.
Yeah, you know, it's tough to say. What we're going to have to watch for here is how much did those 5 intense, grueling, physical matches with Chip Day take out of Joe Black. Is he healthy? Anytime you go into a high level of competition like that, the risk of injury goes up exponentially. He had 5 of those matches in a relatively short period of time. What, 7 or 8 months total?
Oh, yes.
While wrestling a full schedule in other places. But those matches in particular, they wear you down. Those falls count anywhere matches. Those last man standing matches, the brutality that those two showed each other. We're going to see now if there's any lingering effects. If he's got a bad knee, a bad neck, a bad shoulder, anything that affects his game, because tonight, against the champion, Joe Black will need to be perfect.
Well, you also got to wonder about John Skyler in that schedule. Sure, he was wrestling a full schedule, but in a different time zone, in a different country. Probably on a different diet.
That's very true.
You've got to wonder if that has had an effect on his stamina and his overall energy, just his ability to go full board against an amazing athlete such as Joe Black, whether or not he doesn't he's prone to injury.
That's very true. You know, the champion, certain things in the rules and regulations put things in the champion's favor. You know, you always hear that. Yeah, you can't win the title on a count-out or disqualification, you know, things like that. But the champion has always have things that are not in his favor, such as that grueling schedule, such as the fact that, you know, we talked about Joe Black wrestling Chip Day, you know, for the past few months. John Skyler has wrestled people from all over the world, people that he doesn't know, people who he's not familiar with. So, In any of those matches, Skyler could have got dropped on his head awkwardly or landed something or been thrown or a move that he's never seen before. The champion, when you're the champ, and you can ask, Caleb Conley, who's now suspended. You can ask Cedric Alexander. You can ask any of the great champions from PWX history. The champ is pretty much always banged up.
Absolutely. Well, John Skyler seeming to gain control early on in the early going. The other thing that makes you worried about the energy, when you lack certain stamina, you're not thinking quite as quick. And what John Skyler has always made his bread on is the fact that he always seems to be at least one step ahead of his competitor. Methods may vary in, how shall we put this, sportsmanship and ethics, but it has served him well enough to hold the PWX World Heavyweight title.
Crowd making a lot of noise for Joe Black. A great story. These PWX fans, the ones that attend every event, the ones that follow us on DVD and online, the fans have seen the maturation of Joe Black. We talked earlier in the night about Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett, how they came up as young kids, literally, in the sport, and how they have now matured into men. Joe Black, very much the same way. When I met Joe Black, he was a skinny young man, wanted to be a referee, and was eventually, he was put through the paces. He survived training from Mid-Atlantic Dojo. He has traveled all over the country trying to stake his reputation, and his reputation will only grow. The drive that lives in this young man to go west, to go to the Northeast, to go to Canada, to go to Texas, to go to all these places, his reputation will only grow if he can travel to all those places with the PWX World Heavyweight Championship in his possession.
It is amazing, the transformation of Joe Black, not just how far he has come in such a short amount of time in his career. I actually didn't even know about him wanting to be a referee. That would have been a loss to the business had that occurred. But Joe Black has just demonstrated how far he can go. We talked about John Skyler using his mind to get ahead. Joe Black has made his reputation all across the country and in Canada as well on his intensity. He is one of the most intense, focused, and honestly, quietly vicious opponents I have ever seen, and you're seeing that right now as he takes down the champ.
Very deep thinker, Joe Black. Very well-spoken, very articulate, very knowledgeable. Great guy to sit and have a conversation with. He's got a lot of insight, a lot of world views. Very articulate, very bright young man. And he is going up against, in my opinion, one of the best unsigned talents in all the country, the Southern Savior, John Skyler. Like his strategy, his style or not. Oh, cover, hold on.
And a cover,
Whether you like his style or not, there are very, very few people, if anyone, who could represent PWX better in the ring from bell to bell than John Skyler.
Well, a lot of people are going to debate that, not just because of the style and the tactics, but you've often joked he's from Waco, Texas, the David Koresh of wrestling.
Absolutely.
And he is one of the most divisive figures, not only in this particular arena, but I think that he may be the most divisive figure in professional wrestling right now.
You said it earlier, you either love and respect John Skyler for everything he is, or you can't stand the sight of him for everything he is and does.
And well, here's the interesting thing. I've always found, if you look across any spectrum of sport or media, the divisive figures are usually the ones that are the most popular. Howard Stern, Bill O'Reilly, Tom Brady. They are not only the best in their field, but there are enough people that will despise them for that reason. But here's the thing, why they are so great is because everybody's talking.
Great move there on the arm. And we talked earlier about the rigorous schedule that John Skyler has kept as champion. Joe Black might know something we don't know. He might not have just picked that arm arbitrarily. He may know, wrestlers talk. Good Lord. Ask the boss how much wrestlers talk.
Oh, God.
Oh, wait, hold on here.
He may
know of a kink in the armor, so to speak. Oh, man.
Well,
suplex into these chairs.
Also, Joe Black does favor those arm locks, but up and over, he's trying to, oh my God, I think he thought he almost had him. Joe Black trying to fight as valiantly as he possibly can in the early going. Prevent probably a lawsuit. Oh wait, look at this. John Skyler goes head first in the exposed turnbuckle, goes into the other one involuntarily thanks to Joe Black, and Black once more going to that left arm, really trying to make John Skyler's night a very difficult one, and also to make sure that he gets that PWX title.
Important to note, you've probably seen it throughout the broadcast, these are not folding chairs here at this great venue. These are hard, reinforced, almost like banquet seating.
Yes.
Somebody takes a tumble into these chairs like we saw Anthony Henry do earlier, they're going to come up with a broken bone or a laceration or a compound fracture. Great move! Great move from Skyler. He had to avoid being sent into those chairs for the reasons that I was talking about. It would have been a horrific crash.
That is classic Skyler right there into the cover, a near fall off of that slingshot spear.
It would have been a horrific crash into the chair, so he had to provide Joe Black with a horrific crash in the ring, and that quickly the champion has shifted momentum. He's trying to get that shoulder. That shoulder might be locked up. Something might be out of place.
Huge drop kick.
You saw Skyler momentarily banging his own shoulder against the buckle there. He might be trying to shake something loose or something back in place.
He's really favoring it. And he is in pain, and he is enraged. I've seen that look in his eyes before. Joe Black is in big trouble.
Champion may be down to one arm for the duration of this contest.
Well, the thing about Skyler, his offense, it doesn't usually require a lot of the use of his upper body. He's mostly known for his kicks. He's got that saving grace finisher that really requires a pivot hold. That doesn't, as you can see with that snapmare takeover, he uses his right arm for that. So he still has, though he has one bum wheel, I don't think it's going to take away that much from his offense.
This is a great opportunity for him to rest, maybe work the flow of blood or work any kinks in that arm out, as he's basically just stretching Joe Black here at will. He can sit on Joe Black. Well, no, he can't. Joe Black has slipped out of it.
He isn't. And Black is fighting back with that huge forearm. Though he weighs in at 206 and he's about 5'9", he still manages to be one of the most powerful wrestlers working today. When he hits you, you better check, like John Skyler has been with his arm, if something's loose.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy's a maniac in the gym. Like I said earlier, and you know, I hope it's just the facts. When I met him, he was a skinny, almost scrawny referee, and he has built his body up in just maniacal hours in the gym. Joe Black has transformed himself, mind, body, and soul. Ooh,
he's going
back
for a
rake.
Oh my God, I thought he was going for a pile driver, but instead, digging his nails right in there. Double underhook. Picks him up, Tiger Driver, sit-out pin into the cover, 2 count only.
I was going to say, Joe Black has transformed himself, mind, body, and soul, into one of the most complete young wrestlers on the planet. And that's the thing, this guy is still relatively early in his journey. Sky is the limit for Joe Black. He takes an enormous step from someone at the top area of the middle of the pile all the way to the top of the pile if he wins tonight.
John Skyler, knee to the stomach.
There can only be one king atop the mountain. The winner of this one will be the world champion of this organization. And with Skyler's quest to raise the prestige, cover here.
The cover off that bread basket.
With Skyler's quest to raise the prestige, who's to say what other international opportunities may await the winner of this one? We want to have the World Heavyweight Championship defended on every continent, on every planet under the sun. Skyler trying to stretch out. Abdominal stretch here. Yes, he does.
Going in on the abdomen, which he had given a great assault to just moments ago. And Joe Black getting stretched out, and there's the opportunist right there. The referee not seeing John Skyler using that added leverage. Referee didn't even seem to notice the rope shaking.
Boy, I don't want to be too speculative, but Skyler may really be banged up. You're seeing him keep it very simple. You're seeing him take no risks for injury.
Well, he's never really been one of those big risk takers. Sure, he does tend to do suicide dives every once in a while, but he is not known for his aerial assault. So this fits in right with his MO anyway. But I am noticing that, you know, he really is leaning in more on the right, on his left arm. Normally when you do a stretch like that, you stand up, you extend the arm that much. So maybe he is, while trying to block out the John Skyler sucks chance, he's also trying to make sure that he's not further hyperextending his arm, and the referee forcing him to break the hold after catching that disqualifiable offense. Joe Black trying to get his wind back after having his abdomen stretched out. Slingshot spear once more. Oh, we've seen this out of Joe Black before, going for that crippler crossface. And he's got it locked in. That arm is been injured already in this matchup, and John Skyler fighting with everything he's got to roll out of it, and does. Skyler regroups, charges in, and oh, if his shoulder isn't hurt before, it's really hurting now off of that miss.
Uh-oh.
And now Joe Black, he's gonna fly, suicide dive right through, and he DDT'd him onto the exposed concrete floor here at the Main City Cellar Club. My goodness.
Great body control. And he just sent Skyler right into the floor. It sounded like somebody dropped a watermelon on the floor. The splat of Skyler's head. If he gets the champ back in the ring, we're going to see a new champion. And what an incredible story of Joe Black, this young man that has worked so hard to rise up through the ranks here. But maybe the biggest offensive maneuver of the match happened outside the ring, where he can't win the title, Craig.
Absolutely he can, and he crawls back into the ring to break that 10 count. Joe Black, easily the biggest opportunity in his
Skyler!
career. And Skyler's
Finley roll on the floor.
Oh my goodness!
Good
He
Lord,
almost took the staging down with him.
Good Lord.
These men are throwing everything they possibly can think of at each other, and still neither of them are gaining any ground.
I said it earlier, there can only be one champion instead of top the mountain.
And we're up to a 6 count. Skyler manages to get back into the ring. Joe Black.
And John Skyler is not stopping to count. He will win any way that he can win. He's telling him to count faster.
Yeah. Well, in doing so, he's basically slowed it down. He's up to an 8. This will be, I haven't seen Joe Black
Skyler's going to win this one.
Joe Black gets in at 9.5.
Not a moment too soon. And Skyler looks frustrated. That arm is giving him major problems.
Skyler has been favoring it, but he still has 3 other limbs to operate with, and he's going to have to use them with precision in order to retain the world title. Skyler tries to clothesline, gets ducked. Joe Black, here comes that freakish strength we've seen. He's going to chain together these suplexes. Try to anyway. Skyler's fighting. Gets another one for his troubles.
Boy, Joe Black may just string enough of these together until Skyler can't stand.
Well, he's got 3 on there. Is he going for 4? I know Joe Black has a lot of strength, but for as much as this hurts Skyler, it's got to hurt him as much. Not only just in slamming yourself to the mat, but also it takes a lot of endurance to lift a man who's over 200 pounds.
Skyler trying to grab a hold of the referee, the ropes, anything. He's pulling, he didn't make it, he didn't make it.
Yeah, that's 5 right there. Is he going for 6?
Like I said, he may just suplex Skyler until he can't stand any longer.
John Skyler is near the ropes this time. Black gets one more for good measure. He's going to go for 7.
Oh, man. Skyler, the lights are going to be dimming on the champ here.
Does Black have enough to get one more in on the champ? Oh.
Boy, not a lot behind those elbows, though.
Oh, yeah, he is not only on that arm, but he's been taking a lot out of. And, well, instead of the German variety, goes for belly-to-back variety. Skyler reverses. Another reverse waistlock, and that's 7 with the bridge. 2, and Skyler kicked out.
So close. So close.
John Skyler, many people, he's even said himself he doesn't have a heart, but he's definitely showing some to everybody here tonight.
Both men down here.
Skyler's first to stir. It looks like, actually, Black is also stirring at this point. We're up to a 6 count right now. I think Black might be the first one to make it to his feet. Skyler's obviously probably taking some head injuries off of all those suplexes and basically cradling his left arm at this point as Joe Black throws a forearm right to the face of the champ. John Skyler once more. In fact, I think the fans are starting to lean a little more towards Black in this matchup as he's put on a dominating display.
He really has.
Both men trading with whatever is left. Fists and elbows in the middle of the ring. As John Skyler with the European uppercut managing to gain a little bit of separation once more and really finding his mark and getting that adrenaline pumping once more. Coming in for one more. He's basically cocking his arm. Oh wait, Skyler reverses it. He's going for that crossface once more. You gotta believe if he locks that in, it's gonna be lights out, new champion. Huge clothesline, taking down the champ. Flying back elbow by Joe Black. Knee to the stomach. I think he's gonna be going for, yep, got that snap suplex. And a drop kick to the back of the head of John Skyler. Flurious assault and a near fall.
Those near falls are getting closer.
Joe Black trying to will this crowd in Hickory, North Carolina back on his side, and that tension I was talking about in an earlier match, in fact it was this match, but there's just so much tension in this crowd right now. They don't know whether to sit, stand, or fall down at this point.
Boy, I have rarely, very rarely seen the champion in this much danger.
Fisherman suplex does get the bridge up and a near fall on the champion.
Close. Those 2 counts are getting closer and closer to 3.
Totally.
How many times over those last few months, Craig Beltry, have we talked about John Skyler controls the pace better than anybody? He's methodical. He's in the driver's seat better than anybody. I have rarely, if ever, seen him take this much punishment and be out of control so much.
Well, I do recall the match he had with Cedric Alexander before he left for the Far East. He was dominated in that matchup, but what got him the victory was a roll-up and a handful of tights, to be fair. But he always finds the opening somehow. He will take as much abuse, almost kind of a more brutal form of the rope-a-dope, if you will. He can take a beating as better as anybody.
Finley roll, Finley roll.
Kind of like this as well, but Joe Black trying to fight out of it.
So dangerous when they're both teetering like that.
Step up Enziguri and gets him right on that left arm again.
To your point, though, back when he wrestled Cedric Alexander a couple months ago, it just took one opening for Skyler to go low and then cradle Cedric Alexander up. He did take a lot of punishment in that matchup, but maybe more importantly is it only took one moment for him to change the matchup. Very similar to how he won the title, actually.
Absolutely.
In just
he
flash.
found 3 moments in that match by pinning 3 other men. John Skyler, now it looks like Joe Black is once again in that prone position. Front face lock administered.
Joe's trying to slip out, and he does it.
He did, and oh, wow. Oh, that's got to hurt.
Well, the champ is taking a lot of abuse here. Double knees.
Double knees to the back, and
he held on.
Skyler
Great move.
held on.
Great thinking. Great thinking by the methodical heavyweight champion.
John Skyler, he's going for that sliced bread.
Yes, he is, because of the slate. Oh, he can't get the saving grace.
And look at this, backstabber, yes! Joe Black hits it. And he goes for the cover, kind of slow to get there. Does he have him? No.
Oh, man, what a war. For the PWX World Heavyweight Championship. Joe Black needs to stay focused here.
And yeah, he does, and his fight is not with the referee. And the last thing you ever want to do in a situation like this is turn your back.
Oh, he caught the low blow. That was how he beat Cedric Alexander, but Joe Black caught it.
Oh dear. And he's going for that.
Woo!
Grace, but that crossface is put on the champ, and the champ, as we've alluded to, is in huge trouble. He's right near the center of the ring.
Oh, Joe Black is torturing the champion.
Oh my God,
Joe Black is torturing the champion.
He's really cranking that move on, and Skyler is in real huge trouble here.
The sense of urgency is becoming overwhelming in John Skyler.
Skyler is nowhere in reach. His legs aren't long enough to reach the bottom rope. Joe Black has got him in perfect position. We could see a new champion here. But wait, Skyler manages to roll out.
Oh, he didn't get it!
He did not get it.
John Skyler is still trapped.
John Skyler. Will he tap? Will we see a new champion? Will the black cloud rise in Hickory?
The lights may be dimming on the champ here.
Come on, watch that. Come on, Skyler.
Oh, he got to the eyes. He went to the eyes.
Oh, man.
1, 2, 3.
The referee calling for the break here.
The champion had to get out of that hole by hook or by crook. Like it or not, he had to get out of that hole.
Going for a oh, I thought he was going for a super kick. Instead, Joe Black catches him with one of his own. And now he's going for, I think, you've seen him do this, the Falcon Arrow. Covers in 1, 2, new champ no.
So close. Great ring awareness from Joe Black. Planted him dead center of the ring, nowhere near a rope.
One of the closest pinfalls. We've seen a lot of close pinfalls in this match, and that might have been the closest, the end maybe near for the champ.
What an amazing story of this kid, Joe Black. If he leaves here the champion, he has matured into a man before our very eyes.
Oh, huge powerbomb. And wait, Skyler's on the rope.
Oh! Just that quick.
PWX World Heavyweight Champion, the Southern Savior, John Skyler.
By any means necessary, John Skyler, with added leverage from the second turnbuckle, retains the PWX World Heavyweight title.
We touched on it earlier. In just a moment, in just a flash, the smartest, the most methodical, and maybe the most dangerous champion we've ever had can end the matchup. And we have just seen it again. The summer of Skyler continues.